Yeousch!
What is up, everyone? StonePost34. I know you're like, holy crap, 2 videos back-to-back days. What is this, like the old times before I was partnered? I'm just kidding. Actually, work slowed down quite a bit, so I had a moment to share with you guys over my lunch break. And if you follow me on Twitter, you may already know this. My wife and I went to a concert back about a month ago, and in doing so, we got backstage passes. In fact, here's the picture. I'll go ahead and throw it up now. We went to Nickelback and went backstage. Got to meet Chad Kroeger and his brother and the rest of the band. Super nice guys. I mean, they couldn't have been nicer. In fact, we walk in and Chad Kroeger, the lead singer, is like, "Hi, my name's Chad, and this is my brother." And I'm like, I know your name's Chad. I'm Greg. This is my wife, Lee. I mean, I didn't say that, but I was just kind of stunned that that's how he introduced himself. But I guess how else would you introduce yourself? But very cool guys. And it got me thinking, because my wife said something when we were leaving. We were at the Sprint Center, and we're in the catacombs underneath. And we're leaving, and she says to me, "I think those are the most famous people I've ever met." So, not that I'm a deep thinker here, but it got me thinking, what makes people famous? What makes people say people are famous? I know there's YouTube famous. Everyone kind of jokes about that. There is, politicians, athletes, artists, musical artists, all sorts of people you could call famous. So let me know what you guys think it is. I think it just depends, in my opinion. I think if you're known outside of a circle, your normal circle, if you're known, and I mean, there's bad ways to be famous too, but if you're known outside of your own circle and people come up to you and recognize you that you don't know, to me, that's what famous means. So throughout my many years of living, I have met several famous people, and I'm going to share them with you. The first, well, not the first, but the one you know about, obviously, is Chad Kroeger and the band. Very nice guys. When I was in college, I worked a front desk job at a hotel, and I met several people just in that job alone. I met the Johnny Cash and Roseanne Cash. Run DMC, actually I met them, and they gave me, because I recognized them, they put me on their list of special guests at the concert, and I got to go in. I didn't hang out with them or anything. So I've met them. I live in a town that has some famous people in it. I've talked to, I'm not really hung out with, Danny Manning, famous basketball player. Bill Self lives about a mile from my house, so I see him in his car, a couple times a month, just because I know what car he drives, and I see him driving down the road. I've actually talked to him, not really hung out with him, but, when we had our first daughter, he came over, and he's just the nicest guy. You can't imagine how nice this guy is. So, I've been around a few famous people in my life, and I think here's the difference. I want to know what you guys think. It's how you react to famous people. It's not that I think I'm better than the famous person. I just want them to not feel intimidated, or I don't know if intimidated is the right word, but I want them to feel comfortable around me, so I don't really pour it on. I just introduce myself like I'd introduce myself to you, and not really create an uncomfortable environment like asking for autographs. I see that, when I've seen Coach Self out at a restaurant. Everyone's like, "Hey, Coach, what's up, Coach? How's next season going to be, Coach? Can I get your autograph? Can I get a picture with you?" Just crap like that. That's not me. I wouldn't want that if I was out. I just treat people who are famous in public the way I'd want to be treated. Not that I'm famous, which brings me to another point I wanted to talk about, which is the YouTube famous. I've got just a glimpse of it. I've been in, actually I was in a lobby about 3 weeks ago just playing by myself, and I usually mute everyone on PlayStation. I can't really do a private party or anything, so I try to mute people. But I get a message, because I have them muted, "Love your vids," and so I unmute everybody, and there's this one kid just going crazy. "StonePost, StonePost, StonePost," I've got a little of that. I've been recognized a few times, but not like some of these big guys. So yeah, it makes you feel a little special. It is, and I usually pick them up in the next match, and we play a few games and move on down the road. You know, I've played with some famous YouTubers, or whatever you want to call them. You know, I've played with Market J, Onslaught, Dendro, obviously Aviator. He used to have me on his friends list, but I'm just not on Xbox that much anymore. But I've played with him, and actually he introduced me to like Zerka HD, and I've played with a few of those guys. So, you know, being famous, I think it's kind of cool. I just think it's really being recognized outside of your sphere, outside of your group of friends, and you know, I think I've told this story a few times. You know, I grew up with a famous person. Actually, his sister's more famous than he actually is. He's a professional basketball player. Anthony Parker plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he grew up down the street from me. We used to be on the same basketball team, and you know, my mom and his mom, we'd take turns giving each other rides to basketball practice in junior high. And he was always an incredible athlete. But the funny thing is his younger sister. Now, I didn't really think a lot of it because, you know, by the time I moved away, she was, 12 years old maybe a little bit older than that. But his sister's Candace Parker. And if you know anything about women's basketball, she is easily, hands down, the best woman basketball player ever. She was the first one to dunk in an NCAA game. She still plays in the WNBA, but she just lived down the street from us. They're just great people, and that's the thing I found, and that's why I don't really treat people differently, is because they're usually just want to be treated normal, and they're really genuinely good people. Anyone that I've met, at least, that's famous. So anyway, guys, let me know who you've met that's famous, how you reacted, what your thoughts on it were. But I just wanted to share this. I thought it was kind of a good topic. You know, like I said, there's such thing as YouTube famous and just regular famous. So anyway, guys, appreciate you stopping by. Take care as always. This is Stonepost 34.
No. Yep, there you go. Wow.
Yeousch!